morning, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Copy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Letitia Fowler with the Office of Public Defender.
Lakeisha Halen, Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Orlando Alvarez.
Mr. Alvarez, you're here in 19 CF 12856, excuse me, as well as 19 CF 12857. You were arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabis. In that matter, your bond will be $150. You also were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude and driving while license suspended. Your bond on count 1 in that matter will be $5,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $150. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license, sir. Thank you. One second, Mr. Alvarez. Did you want to hire a lawyer to help you, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I had a lawyer.
You do? Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Donald Lawton,
Mr.
Jr.
Mr. Lawton, you're here in 19 CF 12219. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias. It looks like, were you in downtown court yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, and you saw Judge Jordan,
Yes.
and they executed the capias, and it looks like bond on count 1 is set at $100,000. Bond on count 2 is set at $150. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to return to the scene. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And if you do have any weapons, sir, those need to be surrendered to the sheriff's office within 24 hours of your arrest. All right? Thank you, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you as well. Good morning. Your name, sir?
Good morning, man.
Tell me your name.
I plead no contest, man.
Well, Mr. Young, are you Mr. Young?
No, Your Honor, can we move Paul Young to the end of the docket?
Oh, sure. Are you Mr. Finley?
Ma'am?
Are you Mr. Finley?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mr. Finley, you are here in 19 MO 1569. You were arrested for open container, and there's probable cause. I'll just need you to sign the plea form, Mr. Finley.
No, ma'am, I don't need no public defender. I'm gonna plead
I
no
did-
content.
I know, I didn't appoint the public defender. I just need you to sign the plea form. Mr. Finley, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am, I have read it before.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Finley, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which are due by September 11th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Good morning, your name?
Robert Crew.
Mr. Crew, excuse me, you were here in 19 MM 7491. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State, was there an offer for Mr. Crew?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return.
Mr. Crew, do you want to accept the offer?
Sure.
All right, I need you to sign the plea form, please. Mr. Crew, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Nope.
Are you on probation?
Nope.
Pardon me?
Nope.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You cannot return to any of the Valencia campuses. Do you understand?
Okay.
Sir, they've trespassed you from there, so every time you go, you're gonna get arrested,
Okay.
okay? You have to pay court costs. Those are due by September 11th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Timothy Page.
Mr. Page, this is 19MM 7502. You were arrested for trespass and a conveyance. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Were you making an offer on this case? Okay. Mr. Page, at this time, your bond is gonna be $500.
Okay.
And you're not to have any contact with Pablo Pierre. All right? Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Anthony Filati on behalf of Natasha Morales. Thank you again for hearing it this morning.
Sure, no problem. Good morning. This is 19 CF 12132. Ms. Morales, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated battery. You are represented by counsel. Did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to enter a plea of not guilty and actually respectfully ask the state attorney in this court to consider dropping the charges, considering this incident stems from Ms. Morales basically fighting off an individual that has over 10 inches in height and 100 pounds on her from sexually assaulting her. The cops never spoke to Ms. Morales, never contacted her, and instead went ahead and picked her up at her job. Had they done that, I'm pretty sure she would not be here today. So with all due respect, we would ask that the state attorney does consider dropping the charges.
So, Mr. Filati, at this time, that's not something that the court can consider. You'd have to file a motion with the
Yes,
state
Your Honor.
attorney that's handling the matter. Today, we are just gonna be able to set her conditions of release. And I'll certainly take into consideration the things that you've told the court in determining what the bond and those release conditions are.
Thank you, Your Honor. In that case, we would just request the court consider releasing her on her own reconnaissance. Ms. Morales has been here for approximately 16 years, has a job, has mother, family here, longtime boyfriend, graduated high school here. She's not a flight risk, has no prior criminal history regarding violence, and she doesn't constitute a threat.
Ms. Morales doesn't qualify for pretrial release? She what? She was not. Okay.
State would object to a ROR. If she qualifies for PTR, we have no objection to PTR with no contact with the victim, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no firearms.
Ms. Morales, where are you gonna be living?
Old Owner Garden, Your Honor.
Because you're not gonna be able to live in the same house with your stepdad and your mom.
Currently reside in Old Owner Garden, ma'am.
Okay.
I can update the address with the court, Your Honor. Would just ask, based off of the information that's been filed and the charging affidavit, that if bond was issued, it would be without any kind of external conditions. Really don't feel it's necessary in this case.
Well, I'm definitely gonna order that she can't have any contact with Jose Rivera. She
Totally
has to
understandable.
maintain a separate residence, and you can't possess any weapons or any firearms, ma'am. All right, well, based on her history, I'm going to release her on her own recognizance. She doesn't have any criminal history. Do we have a no contact order in here? Any of the domestic violence ones? Any chance? It looks,
Give me one
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to have you review and sign a no contact order. And by no contact, it'll explain it to you on the form as well, but that means no texting, no calling, no emailing, no contact through a third party, so even like through your mom. And any violation of that, your, release will be revoked.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay.
First name is Natasha.
Yes. Ms. Morales, you'll also need to stay in contact with your attorney and make sure that you appear at any subsequent court dates. Again, if you do fail to appear, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest and it won't have a bond.
Won't be a
Okay.
problem, Your Honor. Thank you again for accommodating this.
Sure.
I'll get that signed.
May I be excused?
It's
Yes.
ready. It's ready now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, it's to your client to sign.
Sir, good morning. Your name? Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
your name?
James Henry Card.
Mr. Card, you are here in 19 CF 12874. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to also release you on
Ma'am,
your,
I wasn't even on the, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not trying to be rude to you in any sort of way, Mr. Card, but everything that you say in this courtroom is recorded and
Correct.
can be used against you later. So I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case. You can do that on another day. All right?
Excuse me?
Today's not the day for you to present your defense to the case.
Okay, but I'm taking care of my aunt. She's elderly.
Okay, but Mr. Card, I understand that you
I
want
don't
to
have
explain.
no money. Yes,
But
ma'am.
if you would let me speak, then
Yes,
maybe I could
ma'am.
help you. All
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So, Mr. Card, what I was trying to explain to you is that I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, so you're not gonna have to post a bond to get
Yeah.
out of the jail.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
do have to show up to all of your subsequent court dates,
Yes, ma'am.
all right? And stay in contact with your lawyer so that
Yeah.
you know when the court date is, and you may not drive a car or any sort of vehicle if you do not have a license.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that.
Okay, all right, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Tion Cooper.
Mr. Cooper, you're here in 19 CF 12879. You were arrested for resisting officer with violence and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause for both of those offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000 and your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Ryan Demetrius Jarrett.
All right, how about Damaris Garcia Roque?
She's Spanish,
I'll take it to Carly. You're Mr. Jarrett,
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
correct? Mr. Jarrett, you are here, sir, in 19 CF 12875. You were arrested for possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond, sir, is $4,000. You are not to return to the Maxwell Terrace Apartments, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Paula Renee Lamoureux.
Ms. Lamoureux, you're here in 19 CF 12873. You were arrested for possession of heroin. There's probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, ma'am. You need to stay in contact with your lawyer and keep an updated address. That way you know when your next court date is and you don't miss court.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Of course.
Hello, great morning.
Good morning. Are you Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Mitchell, you are here in 19 CF 10279. You failed to appear for arraignment on September 5th of 2019. I'll appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Your bond is set at none, and you'll have to see the judge downtown about setting a bond.
Oh, my goodness, all the way downtown? I was out of town for the hurricane.
Ma'am, I can't help you with setting a bond today. The judge that issued the capias has to modify the capias. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
How about Mr. Loudermilk?
Your Honor, Mr. Loudermilk, refused.
Oh, okay. So based upon Mr. Loudermilk's refusal to come to court, I'm going to find a waiver of his appearance. This is 19 CF 12843. He was arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause for both of the offenses. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. Bond on count 1 is $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Andre Ivory Mosby.
Mr. Mosby, you are here, sir, in 19 CF 12878. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond, sir, is $500. Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Dominique Ortiz. Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz, you were here in 19 CF 3860 because you failed to appear for case management conference on August 15th of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is set at none. You also have 19 CF 5284. You failed to appear for case management conference on August 12th of this year. Your ROR in that case has been revoked and your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed, and you will have to have them file a motion with the trial judge about getting a bond. All right, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Morning. Robert Pullins.
Mr. Pullins, you're here in 19 CF 12860. You were arrested for petty theft, third or subsequent offense. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, you can't return to the Publix at 440 North Orlando Avenue. Your bond is going to be $1,000. Mr. Pullins released on a 33-day motion? Yes, okay. Mr. Pullins, are you gonna be posting bond in the out on bond case? I mean, on the new case?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. Of course, I'll try.
Well, I'm just wondering if you're not gonna be able to post bond, you're not getting any time on your out on bond case because you were released on your own recognizance. So if you're not planning on posting bond, I can revoke that, and that way you're getting time together on both cases.
I better wait.
Pardon me?
I better wait.
Okay, I'll take no action on your out on bond case, sir, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Latasha Stewart.
Good morning, Ms. Stewart.
Good morning.
You are here in 19 CF 5451. You failed to appear for case management conference on August 20th of this year. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $500. And I'm not going to revoke your bond on your out on bond case. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Antoine Tyson.
Mr. Tyson, you are here in 19 CF 12592. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for the offenses of aggravated battery with a firearm and aggravated assault with a firearm. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Sir, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You're also not to return to 707 South Orange Blossom Trail, which is the American Euros store, and you're not to have any contact with Joshua Thayer. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $7,500. Your bond on count 2 will be $2,500, and I'm revoking the bond in 19 MM 4143. That bond will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes.
can you repeat the second bond, please, on count 2?
$2,500.
Thank you.
How about Mr. Russ? I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Russ's appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior. He is here in 19 CF 12862. He was arrested for armed burglary of a dwelling with a firearm, grand theft third degree, and grand theft third degree of a firearm. There's probable cause for the offenses. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond. Looking at the four corners of the affidavit of Welby Houghton, it looks like the victim, the defendant is related to the family, who is a child. He was told he could not go into the back part of the building, which is the residence. They found when they came, they found the air conditioner pushed from the outside inside. Multiple things were stolen, including a Ruger hollow point pocket knife, two rifle scopes, multiple other weapons as well, a rifle. The mother of the victim and the defendant, it looks like, the defendant was sleeping at her house. She had the key to the car that he had been driving in, found a number of the stolen items from the house in that van that was at her house while the defendant slept. Based on information, we believe it is more likely than not the defendant did commit this burglary based on shortly after the stolen items were found in the car he was driving. The defendant held no bond, no contact with his family members, including any witnesses, would be his mother at this time. No weapons, no firearms.
Haley?
I'll defer to the court.
Okay. At this time, I do believe that the state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great as to count 1. Bond will remain at none. Bond on count 2 will be $5,000. Bond on count 3 is $5,000. He is not to return to 31 Pershing Place. He's not to have any contact with Trevellis Solomon Russ. He's not to possess any weapons or any firearms. And then 19 CF 12125, bond in that matter will be revoked, and that will also be set at none. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Jocelyn Villat.
Ms. Villat, you are here in 19 CF 12869. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Your bond is $1,000, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Howard Washington.
Mr. Washington, you are here in 19 CF 12849. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You were arrested for throwing or shooting into an occupied structure or dwelling, aggravated assault with a firearm, and criminal mischief greater than $1,000. Your bond on count 1 is $25,000. Your bond on count 2 is $5,000, and your bond on count 3 is $100. sir, you are not to have any contact with the victim in this matter. You are not to return to 5337 Alloway Street. And you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name, sir?
My name Peter Antonio Demetrius Woods, ma'am.
Mr. Woods, you were here in 18 CF 11606. You failed to appear for pretrial on February 27th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed, and your lawyer will have to file a motion with the trial judge to see if you can get a bond.
Ma'am, I was at work during this date. I didn't even know I was supposed to went to court that day. I've been at work the whole time. I don't know why wasn't arrested, so I
Okay.
don't understand this. I'm a full-time father. I can't accept just sitting here like this on a failure to appear that I wasn't even aware of.
Okay, I understand your frustration, sir. I'm not able to modify the capias. The judge who issued the capias is who has to modify that, and they'll hear what you've presented to me, and you'll have to have your lawyer get whatever else you need to substantiate that, and you'll have to see them about getting the bond.
So in the meantime, I just sit until I get a court date?
Yes, but you need to be proactive, so I'd start calling right away. They can file a bond motion today, and the bond motions usually are heard within 3 days.
I have no attorney on this case. I
I
never,
just appointed one to you.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, we're still waiting on Paul Young.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name.
Good morning. God bless you, Your Honor. My name is Willie James Flores.
Mr. Flores, you're here in 19MO1570. You were arrested for disorderly conduct.
Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor. Credit, adjudication of guilt, credit for time served.
You want to sign the plea form, Mr.
Yes,
Flores?
ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Mr. Flores, did you read the plea form, sir, before you
Yes,
signed
ma'am.
it?
Yes,
Do you have
ma'am.
any questions about
No.
any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol,
No,
or
ma'am.
medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. We have credit for 2 days' time served. You do have to pay court costs, which are due by September 11th of
Yes, ma'am.
2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case at this time, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's it.
Good morning, your name?
James Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, you're here in 19MO1571. Sir, you were arrested for open container. There is probable cause. Did you want to resolve your case this morning, Mr. Sanders?
You what now?
Do you want to resolve your case? Do you want to enter a plea? Yes? All right, sir, I need you to sign the plea form for me, please. He didn't fill out the application, so no. Mr. Sanders, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
No, I can't read.
Okay, well, let me just explain to you what's on the form, sir, okay? By entering this plea today, you're gonna give up your right to have a jury trial. Do you understand that?
I'm guilty. I drunk the beer.
Okay, that's fine, Mr. Sanders. But when you're charged with a crime, you have certain rights that you have, and I just wanted to make sure that you understand that you want to plead guilty today. You do? Yes. You also have to answer my questions out loud, Mr. Sanders.
Yeah, I'm guilty for drinking it.
Okay, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. So you're also gonna have to pay court costs. Those are due by September 11th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
For drinking a beer?
I hear you, Mr. Sanders, I do. But yes, that's what the law requires. So you can't do it in public. You have to sit on the porch or
I
something
wasn't
else.
in public. I was here. That joker come back there and grab me and make me pull it out. They sold it. They shouldn't have sold it. They didn't want me to drink it.
Well, all right, Mr. Sanders, I understand.
Well, that's right.
All right. Have a nice day, sir. Good morning, your name?
Tyler Vincent Nyblack.
Mr. Nyblack, you are here in 19 MM 7497. You were arrested for petty theft and resisting a merchant. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You are not to return to the neighborhood Walmart at 2715 South Orange Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100.
Okay, I actually had a quick question.
Sure.
I wanted to go ahead and plead out to no contest. And I talked to you about this. Can I go ahead and talk to her?
So, Mr. Nyblack, let me just, I kind of know where you're going with this. I'm not meaning to cut you off, but I believe that you are on parole. Is that correct?
I was on Virginia probation, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I was
so-
serving that here. I think I've done about 2 years.
Right. So any plea to a new criminal law offense will violate your probation.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to give you legal advice. That's why you have your lawyer. But I just want you to be aware that if you entered a plea today, it will violate your probation. So it's probably not the best idea.
Yes, I understand that. It's just I feel I'm gonna have to plea out eventually to no contest anyways.
Right. Well, Mr. Nyblack, I'm not going to accept a plea on your case today. You're gonna need, I think you need to talk to a lawyer about it.
Okay.
And so, I'm gonna leave your bond set at 500 and 100, sir.
Okay, so I do have a bond?
You do.
Okay, thank you.
You do have a 5-day hold, though, due to the
Okay.
probation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
My name is Idris Ibn Axis.
Mr. Exius, you are here in 19 MM 7505. You were arrested for trespass after warning and a conveyance. I think it's trespass on property, but, Mr. Exius, did you want to resolve your case this morning?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to have the public defender appointed? You didn't fill out the form.
No, I don't. I wasn't feel it. I wasn't feel there. I wasn't feel there for the defendant.
I don't know what you're trying to tell me, Mr. Assius. I'm asking you, do you want a lawyer to
Oh,
help you with your
no.
case? No?
I can't afford the lawyer because I don't have. I'm not working.
I understand, sir. I can appoint the public defender to represent you. I can appoint a lawyer to help you with your case.
Yes, because for me, I can't afford.
Okay. Was there an offer from Mr. Assius?
Yes.
Education credit for time served
All
every
right.
2 days.
Mr. Assius, you cannot go back to the Florida Mall. Do you understand, sir?
No,
Okay. You understand, you know you can't go back there, right?
I'm not going there no. I'm not going there no more.
Okay. You've been trespassed, so every time you go, they're gonna arrest you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sign the plea form, please.
Your Honor, did you appoint me?
I
you
did.
appoint- Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Mr. Assius, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah, I was with it. Yeah.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No,
Are you on probation?
no, I'm not in probation.
Okay. Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today? Take your time.
I'm in diabetics.
Okay.
Cholesterol.
Are you all right?
Yes.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You don't have to apologize. Mr. Assius, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You cannot return to the Florida Mall. You also have to pay court costs, which are due by September 11th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Hi.
Hi, good morning. Your name?
I'm sorry, Thomas Bliss.
Mr. Bliss, you were here in 19 MM 7501. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. Mr. Bliss, can you hear me?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you, but I was.
Do you need the headphones? We have headphones.
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. Mr. Bliss, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Good, okay. So you were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause.
It got disconnected. Oh. Yes, that's true.
Okay, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return.
Okay. Mr. Bliss, did you want to accept that offer?
I didn't hear her. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's an adjudication of guilt and credit for time served. You'll be released from the jail today, sir.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's great.
Okay, and you cannot return to the house.
I understand.
Okay. Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, I went over that.
Okay, sir. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
About any of the,
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
no, thank you.
Okay. Are you on probation?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm on probation or not. Yes, I've been arrested before.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bliss, do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
I am a U.S. citizen.
All right, sir. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You also have to pay court costs, which are due by September 11th of 2020. You are not to return to 4337 South John Young Parkway. That's the house. And you have 30 days to appeal judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
Okay, how much are the court costs?
$323.
Okay.
You have a whole year to pay. So if you need more time or there's an issue, you can go to the clerk of the court at the big downtown courthouse and you can talk to them about any sort of payment plan that you may need or an extension.
Okay.
All right, sir?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your name?
Scatra Denmark.
Mr. Denmark, this is 19 MM 7493. You arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Denmark?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return.
Mr. Denmark, did you want to accept that offer?
Yes.
Sign the plea form, please. Mr. Denmark, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You can't return to 1002 West Carter Street. What is that place?
It's a Jackson Center. It's a recreation center.
Okay, so I understand that you were just cutting through, but you can't even cut through because you've been trespassed from the Jackson Center. Okay? Don't go back.
Okay.
You have to pay court costs. Those are due by September 11th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. All right, thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Good morning, Tabitha Knott.
Miss Knott, this is 19MM 7503. You were arrested for petty theft.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Ms. Knott?
There is not, Your Honor.
All right, is that because of the restitution?
I'm not getting off any theft cases without speaking to the victims.
All right, Ms. Knott, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to stay in contact with your lawyer. When you leave the jail, they're gonna give you a court date. Make sure you hold on to that court date and you show up, otherwise there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can't go back to Publix, either,
Yes, ma'am.
at 7601 South Orange Blossom Trail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Brian Marino. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What about Antonio Lopez Roballo? Oh,
Spanish, Your Honor.
got it. Thank you. Brian Marino?
Yes, Your
Is
Honor.
that right, sir? You were here for an out-of-county warrant from Brevard County. At this time, sir, your bond is set at none. It's related to a violation of community control for burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, and forgery. Brevard County is going to come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Young.
Good morning, Mr. Young.
Good morning.
Sir, you were here in 19 CF 4386. You failed to appear for pretrial on August 13th of this year. I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed, and you'll have to have your lawyer file a motion with the trial judge about getting a bond. You understand?
I thought I was going to trial. I don't,
You'll have to talk to your lawyer, but this says you failed to appear for pretrial conference. Okay, so I would get in contact with your lawyer and figure out what your next court date is, or if you can get a bond. All right?
I don't know what's going on.
All right, call your lawyer, sir.
Call my lawyer. How do I call my lawyer? I don't have a phone.
Sir, you can call your lawyer here.
They said I have no bond.
You don't have a bond,
Well,
but if you don't understand what's going on with your case, you need to get in contact with your lawyer who can help you with that.
the public defender,
Yeah.
they don't help you with nothing.
All right, sir, thank you. How about Mr. Torres? Spanish as well? They all say English, but, all right. And then are we ready on 33 day?
We are.
Okay. Alright, 19 CF 10640, Jonathan Barrett.
Be granted a state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
Alright, that will be granted. 19MM 339, Renard Mahone.
Granted a state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 7729, Levonsky Jones.
Granted a state file notice, no information, Ms.
That will be granted. 19 CF 7776, Lee Vance.
Be granted a state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
He is gonna be denied. His bond was revoked on August 24th. 19 CF 11431, Shane Jackson.
Be denied a state file of information on 9/10.
That will be denied. 19 CF 1095858, Deutsch Alsey.
She be granted the state file the notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 11295, Julio Lopez.
That should be denied the state file information and request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor.
That will be denied. 19 CF 11407, Blake Price.
Be denied the state file information on 9/10.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 9336, Rodney Hargis.
That should be granted the state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 10557, James Woods.
That should be granted the state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 MM 6437, Caesar Cordero.
That should be denied the state file information on 9/10.
That'll be denied. 19 MM 6660, Stacy Emerson.
That should be granted the state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 11331, Philip Martinez.
That should be granted the state filed no information.
That'll be great. 19 CF 10379, Jacob Perez.
Granted the state filed notice of non-filing for 30 days.
Granted. 19 CF 10904, Michael Harris.
Should be denied state filed information on 9/10.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 10832, Jeremy Johnson.
Denied the state filed information on 9/10.
That'll be denied. All right, I'll take these to Judge Rich. And then we'll be in recess until 1 p.m. Or no, 1:45 today. Good afternoon, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Kathy Kennedy sworn to on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia Fowler with the Office of Public Defender.
Keisha Haley, Office of the Public Defender.
Desiree Asia.
She refused, Your Honor.
Okay, that's 19 CF 12892. She was arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm finding a waiver of her appearance based upon her refusal. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Her bond on count 1 is 1,000. Her bond on count 2 is 500. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
John Beluso.
Mr. Beluso, you are here, sir. In 19 CF 12891, you were arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, sir, and I'm not going to revoke your bond at this time. Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Kip Young Communities.
Sir, you are here in 19 CF 12895. You were arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids. There's probable cause.
I think it was just cigarette tobacco.
Okay, maybe, sir, I'm just telling you what you're charged with today. I don't want you to talk about the defenses of your case because
Yes, ma'am.
everything in this courtroom is recorded, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
I found some cigarette butts off the ground.
Mr. Crooms, where do you live?
Downtown Orange Ave, homeless. I work for OPD.
You what?
I work for OPD. I make $350 from Huey.
You work for OPD?
Huey Avenue, yeah. Orlando Police Department. Duke Boys, run Pine Hills. I bought my bicycle and stuff like that.
All right. You know where the Orange County Courthouse is downtown?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance.
Thank you, ma'am.
You need to show up for court and stay in contact with your lawyer if you fail to appear for court.
When's the court date, ma'am?
I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, you need to stay in contact with your lawyer. If you fail to appear, they're going
Thank
to
you,
issue a
ma'am.
warrant for your arrest.
Thanks, miss.
All right, sir. Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
Robert Hermanson.
So you're here in 19 CF 12883. You were arrested for retail theft greater than $300 and resisting officer without violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't find that there's probable cause as to count 1. There's no amount alleged in the affidavit. There is probable cause as to count 2. There is probable cause for petty theft.
It might be secret petty theft, Your Honor.
Yes, so bond. Mr. Hermanson, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. You're not to return to 7022 West Colonial Drive. That's the Home Depot.
Thank you.
All right, stay in contact with your lawyer. I don't know what the state of Florida will eventually file on, but make sure you show up to your next court date, otherwise there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest.
So I'll be released today?
You will.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Nathan Martin.
Mr. Martin, this is 19 CF 12893. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to 5375 Starboard Street, and you're not to have any contact with Alessandra Haskell. Your bond, sir, is $1,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Savanam Pate.
Ma'am, this is 19 CF 12884. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of Xanax, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is 1,000. Your bond on count 2 is 150. Your bond on count 3 is 100, as well as 100 on count 4. You also have 19 CT 662. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. Your bond in that matter will be $100. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, ma'am, in both of the cases.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name?
Matthew Reynolds.
Mr. Reynolds, you were here in CF 12885. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all of your cases today, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. You also were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia in 19 MM 7507. Your bond in that matter will be $100. The facts of those cases are providing the probable cause basis for the violation of probation, sir. In that matter, 19 CF 6275, your bond will be set at none. You will see Judge Whitehead on the violation of probation in the next 7 to 10 days, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name?
Byron Smith, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, you were here, sir, in 19 CF 12887. You were arrested for driving while license suspended.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is going to be $1,000. Thank
Okay.
you,
I,
sir.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Sure.
They said have a violent offender hold. I don't know what that is.
So are you on probation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the violent felony offender of special concern, is that a correct hold? Or
It is correct.
It is correct. Okay, so what that means, sir, is that you have a 5-day hold. So because you're on probation, that's going to allow your probation officer to be notified, and they're probably gonna file a violation of probation, and you're gonna be brought back to first appearance to be, IA'd on the violation of probation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you might not wanna set the bond, for your bond, okay? Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Christopher Tellis, ma'am.
Mr. Tullis, this is 19 CF 12882. You were arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabis. There is probable cause. Is he on probation? Are you
No,
on
ma'am.
probation? Okay, that doesn't make sense to me.
No, ma'am, it was Saturday, actually, I got off.
Okay. So then. Portillo, I'm gonna set your bond at $500 at this time.
Okay,
The public defender's appointed. Thank you.
thank you.
Good afternoon, your name?
Patrick Voltaggio.
Sir, you are here in 19 CF 12890. You were arrested for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. Then 19 CF 12436. I'm going to revoke that bond at this time. That will be set at none, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Vincent Caruso Sosa.
Sir, you're here in 19 MM 7509. You were arrested for disturbing the peace at a public lodging establishment. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer was adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return. May I have a moment with my client?
Sure. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
my client does not want to take the offer.
Okay, no problem, sir. Your bond is $500. You all are also, though, are not to return to 8113 Resort Village Drive. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, your name?
Jamin Oran.
So this is 19 MM 7508. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer, Ms. Canning?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return.
Mr. Oren, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. No contest.
Okay. Mr. Oren, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what we're doing here in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. 1 day? So 1 day in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You do have to pay court costs. Those are due by September 11th of 2020. You are not allowed to return to the loft at Soto. And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
DeAndre Smith.
Mr. Smith, this is 19 MM 7510. You were arrested for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There's probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor. Release on his own recognizances.
There's no offer, we have no
Well,
objection to ROR.
yes, I.
Okay. Is this related to the new program
Correct.
downtown? Okay. Mr. Smith, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. They're gonna give you a court date. When you leave here, you need to make sure that you keep that court date and pay attention to it. Otherwise, if you miss court, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
Okay? All right, your lawyer will be able to explain to you what options are available to you for the next court date.
Okay.
All right? Farmer?
Mental health also, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Kaling, we reset this one yesterday for mental health as well. If you wanna go talk to him, I'll roll it again to see if you think it's gonna be, he'll be coming to court soon, and if so, then we can reset it. If not, then I'll do a waiver.
We did make an offer yesterday.
You did?
No, so we no objection to ROR. We had no offer.
Okay. Alright, so this is, 19 MM 7471, Tyler Farmer. He was arrested for disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender, as I said before. He'll be released on his own recognizance in that case, and I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case. John King? Good afternoon, Mr. King. Sir, you were here in 19 MM 7475. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Or is there an offer for Mr. King?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return. May I have a moment?
Sure.
They get credit for 3 days.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
my client would like to accept the offer, plead no contest.
Sure. Mr. King, you just have to sign the plea form. Mr. King, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it? Mr. King? Did you say yes, Mr. King? Yes. Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up? No? No. All right. Are you on probation? Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation? Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today? All right, Mr. King, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 3 days' time served. You're also gonna have to pay court costs. Those are due by September 11th of 2020, and you cannot return to the 7-Eleven at 327 South Orange Blossom Trail. And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Robert Rager.
Mr. Rager, you're here in 19 CF 12835. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You are not to return to 5227 Kingfish Street. And you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this case, Chrisema Charles. Your bond, sir, is $3,500. Actually, Mr. Rager, I'm setting your bond at $1,500. 1,500, yep, thank you.
There's no way I could get out on PTR?
Oh,
I'm eligible for PTR.
you are, sir, I did not see that. So yes, I will allow you to be on pretrial release.
So does that mean that I go home today or no?
Yes, it does.
All right, thank you,
All right,
ma'am.
you're welcome,
I'm
sir.
greatly, appreciative, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, sir.
All right, well, everybody, they're gonna ask me that stuff
I
downstairs.
believe they've already qualified you.
All right, thank you,
Okay?
ma'am.
You're welcome, sir. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Then we'll be in recess.